we got this weekend, we got finally the third fight between Canelo and Triple G. What's your temperature on this one? How you feeling about this one?
I think it took too damn long to do it. Um,
Yep.
I would have liked to have seen an immediate rematch after the second fight, right? Or if not immediate, maybe give them both, one or two buffers, let it fester for a little bit. But I think it took too long. Um, I mean, Triple G's what 40 now? He's in his 40s. I don't know how much he's got left. I mean, I watched his last fight on YouTube, and it looks like he's lost a step, but I think he's going to give us the best version of him that he can give, obviously, against Canelo. I just think Canelo right now and where he's at, I think it's going to be a much more difficult fight for Triple G than it could have been, right? Um, with that being said, I still think it's a great fight for as long as it lasts. I think Canelo knocks him out by round 8.
So this is my, and I think Canelo's probably going to win too, but this is my argument for G. If you get past a certain age in boxing, if you have ring rust,
Mm-hmm.
people are going to call that age.
Right.
If he had been 30 and he had that performance against Murata, people would have said, wow, he's been out of the ring for a year and a half. But because he's 39 or 40, they go, oh, he's getting older. So I think if you look at the Murata fight and you look at, I think it was round 5, the switch kind
Right.
of flipped for him. That's who he is still. He still has that ability. So what you saw rounds 5 through until the stoppage, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what he's capable of. And I do think that that guy still hits hard, still has a great jab, and still, when he catches his rhythm, is a problem. I just don't know if it's enough
Yeah.
to beat Canelo.
That's a good point, man. My point or counter to that is, do you think he has enough of that left against Canelo? Right,
No.
like because I think Canelo is even better than and at least in my opinion from the eye test, right? Even in his loss to Bivol, I think he's got a lot more left than Triple G does. Now, to your point, if Triple G gives you that, right, that round 5 through the stoppage in the beginning, well, hold on, wait a minute. then like if he starts that way, then I think he could, then it's a whole different thing. Because
And
I
if
be
but
honest with you, I thought he,
if he starts like how he started against Murata, Canelo's gonna fucking get in that
yeah.
ass. You know what I'm saying?
But if he starts off like he did in round 5, or if he starts off, even when if you watch the first 2 fights, if he starts off slow and kind of tries to build into it, yeah, I think Canelo's all on his ass. But if he starts like he does when he gets going, he needs to do that from the jump, because I don't think he has enough of it left to last 12 rounds with Canelo. You know what I mean? For it to be interesting. So, but that would be a hell of a fight if he starts off that way, bro. Because then I don't know if Canelo can weather that, onslaught early. But I don't know, man. I still have to go with Canelo, but I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
hell of a fight as long as it lasts.
I think it's an 8-4 kind of fight. But I think a lot of people think Canelo's just going to walk through him, and I don't see that happening. I think this is very. If you look at the context of the third Pacquiao Marquez fight, because the third one I actually thought was like kind of a ripoff. I thought Marquez won that fight pretty clearly. If you look at that fight, those guys had like the same age gap that these guys have. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a
Right.
guy just got your number. I do think Canelo's still going to win. But another reason why I think G still got it is you never see guys calling him out. And there's plenty of undefeated young guys that could
Mm-hmm.
really catapult their career to another level. Bubu Andrade, Jamal Charlo. Again, these guys are also in their 30s. Um, there's a bunch of them that could change the status of their career by beating Golovkin, and you never see people call him out, bro.
You saw the last guy that called him out was Daniel Jacobs. You saw how that worked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I think the world of Daniel Jacobs. But you know, let's face it. You see the trajectory his career's had since he fought Triple G. I think he fought both of them, right? He fought Canelo and Triple G. But uh Triple G to me is one of those things where he's kind of like this era's Bernard Hopkins, right? I think if he really wanted to, he could probably fight, until he's damn near 50. If now, and I have Canelo knocking him out in 8 rounds, but that's not me saying Canelo's going to dog walk Triple G. Like, I think he's going to catch him with something a little bit later. I think because I think Triple G's legs aren't going to be what they were. I think, so he's going to be able to catch him with something. With that being said, I'm not here saying that there isn't a possibility that a reverse happens, right? Like if Triple G comes out the gate storming, it's possible he catches Canelo with something, and we haven't really seen Canelo have to fight through that, right? With somebody, even I thought he was going to have to deal with that with Kovalev, and he never did.
Right.
If Canelo gets caught with something hard, who knows? Because we've never had to see him get past that. And I think Triple G, to your point, he's not going to pull an Andy Ruiz. He's not going to, stand back and take pictures. He's going to go in there and he's going to go for the kill. So it could go either way. I just think, in my opinion, I think that the fresher legs will be Canelo later in those later rounds, and I think he can catch Triple G with something.
Yeah, I still think it's a great fight, and it's not as exciting as it would have been. And part of that too is that there was 2 points where it got missed, right? The obvious one was right after they fought, running back a third time, 2 classics. The other time that they missed it was obviously there was a lot of fighters and a lot of fights that didn't happen because of the pandemic. And I think if they had done it, in the winter of 2020,
Mm-hmm.
or somewhere in there when boxing as like big events was just starting to come back, I mean, I think that would have been an ideal time to do it. You know what I'm saying? I think people would have been just as excited, and they didn't do it then either. And I think, again, so much of the zone's promise was built around this fight getting made. And I think it's butterflied out to where it's affected like the whole functionality of the network.